Hello and welcome to another episode of A Day in the District Season 4. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporation. I'm so excited about today's episode. Why? Because it's dedicated to the middle schools in the Gary Community School Corporation. I am joined by my colleagues and friends, Shanita Walker, Derek Bodley, representing Gary Middle School for the Visual and Performing Arts, Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts, and Bailey STEM Academy, respectively. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. I had to do some cancellations and moving around, but you knew I was going to circle back, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. I thought it would be a great idea to really introduce our community, those who aren't aware, of the many offerings and the narrative behind our amazing middle schools. I'm always in awe at how we were able to put it together with these offerings, different sides of town, different curriculums, but still great opportunities no matter what side you decide to go on. Exactly. So I want to start ladies first. Miss Walker, please tell me a little bit about yourself, your history, if you're a Gary girl, and what got you into education.
So, my name is Shanita Walker. I am a Gary girl.
Yes,
I am. I'm a very proud graduate of William A. Word High School.
Troopers, okay. I don't know what that look meant, but we'll find out.
We'll find out,
okay.
Right? But I am a super trooper. Graduated from Word, but I stayed here. I taught here for about maybe 14 years, and then left for a couple years and came back as an assistant principal at Gary Middle School.
Oh, nice. Now,
Yes.
What subjects did you teach and what colleges and universities did you attend?
I was an elementary education teacher, bounced around, but did most of my years actually at Marquette.
Okay.
College, I went to IUN.
Oh,
so I've been in
nice.
Gary the whole
The
time.
whole time. I
Yes.
love that. I love that. And was there anything in your life that just said, I want to be a teacher, or maybe someone in your life who really inspired you to be an educator?
You know what? I was just that kid that always played school.
Oh.
Yeah, I was the kid at the end of the school year, back when the teachers used to give out the workbook, like the extra books that was
that
on the
was me
shelves
too.
and things like
Yes.
Yeah, I was that one going home with like books so that I can play school all summer long, right? How
that
fun is
wonderful.
that?
Well, you know, it paid off. And then administration. So sometimes people have that nudge, or somebody sees something in them and they say, well, you're a great teacher, but we would love you in leadership. How'd that transition happen?
I took a job, and my principal, the years I was outside of the district, she challenged me. She said, you have to get your admin license. And I was like, okay. As a matter of fact, she told me that upon hiring me.
Okay.
That was my contingency.
That was one of the stipulations.
That was the contingency. If
I
you
love
come
it.
be my reading teacher, you have to get your admin license. And I was
that's
like, okay.
odd,
I know
okay.
it was so very odd, but then I felt obligated, right? Because she hired me, so I have to now fulfill my end. And that's how it happened.
Well, that is wonderful. It's always great to hear that there's somebody that you can pinpoint in your life to say, maybe they saw something in you you didn't see, something you didn't necessarily consider, and then look who gets the benefit, the Gary Community School Corporation, namely our scholars. Mr. Bodley, I'm going to just have to tell you a secret I know about you before we talk to you.
Okay, I hope it's a good one.
It's a good one. So you assumed the role this school year over as principal at Bailey STEM Academy, but prior to, you were over at Gary Middle, correct? As
4
assistant
years.
principal.
Absolutely.
And the two of you have worked together. Can I tell you how many tears were shed when you got ready to leave? I mean, they were coming to me. I'm like, I'm PR. I can't do anything about Mr. Bodley. They were like, no. So who is Mr. Derek Bodley that makes people shed tears when he leaves buildings?
So first I must say, many of those tears were my own. You know, I was really happy about what we were doing over at Gary Middle School. So when I took on the role over as associate principal at Bailey STEM Academy, it was a little challenging in the beginning. However, the team at Bailey STEM Academy were welcoming, and we were able to build some foundation to kind of build on for this particular year when I took over as principal of the school. So I am a lifelong Gary resident.
Okay.
I grew up on 4th Avenue near Horseman, where I am a proud horseman.
Okay.
That's what the look was about.
That's what the look was about.
It was the little rivalry.
Okay, right down the road.
Right.
Okay.
So unlike my colleague, who obviously I enjoyed working with, and we're close, we're very close. And like I said, there's always been this sort of kind of rivalry to some degree with the middle schools, but now we have a crosstown collaboration.
Yes.
Because we understand the value of working together. So that's been kind of my trajectory. So originally, I was in career and technical education for a lot of years.
Okay.
So I taught at Ivy Tech. I also spent about 14 years in Hammond teaching CTE, so that's my background.
I did not know that, Mr. Bodley.
So, and just an added thing, I grew up around the corner from a business known as Doc's.
Doc's Mobile.
Doc's Mobile.
I know it well.
Just wanted
Shout
to throw
out
that
to
in
Daddy.
there.
Hey,
right?
Doc.
But I didn't take the traditional route. So when I went into administration, I came to this district hoping to move into career and technical education. So I actually applied for that. And there was this principal that needed a dean. So I had gone back and gotten my license, and something that fell through when it was kismet, or it needed to be, and I was the guy. No experience, but I was fortunate to go into a positive situation that included Ms. Walker here. And for 4 years, we worked together in a dynamic fashion, and I think we did a lot for students, and that was the key.
I love it.
As I moved on over to Bailey STEM Academy, it was folks like Ms. Walker here who I have the highest respect for what she's continuing to do that helped me along with my present situation.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I knew there was a reason, without me even knowing the backstory, to bring the two of you together on stage to talk about middle school life. And not just that, but how we partner to support one another on behalf of children. And so we are going to get into the nuts and bolts, as I say, or meat and potatoes of middle school. As we have all expressed, we are Gary folks, and we know how the district has changed over the years, and that the tactics and strategies we employ now are far different than what we grew up on, but they're working. You're watching A Day in the District, Season 4. Can you believe we're in Season 4? A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewers, stay connected to Gary schools. And today, you're going to get plugged in, educated, and informed about your Gary middle schools. But you can always start your research by going over to garyschools.org, clicking on the names of these schools, and getting that background. When we come back, we're going to talk specifically about STEM and the arts. Stay right there.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life.
It's gross. I don't really want to talk about it.
She didn't want to at first, but I mean, it's no big deal. Everybody does it.
I was ready, totally ready, because we had been practicing this dance for weeks.
He was supposed to take this girl to this dance, but
I sprained my ankle at track practice.
I hate sharing anything personal. It's so disgusting.
For the dance, I let her wear my shoes and she hated it, but I thought she looked great in them.
he could barely even walk.
I ended up taking some pills for my pain.
Yeah, they were my mom's, but
It didn't go well.
If it's not yours,
If it's not yours,
if it's not yours,
Hey you,
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it. You won't believe what happened next.
Welcome back to A Day in the District, Season 4, and I'm still your host, Chelsea Whittington, chatting with Shanita Walker, principals Shanita Walker and Derek Bodley. It's all about the middle schools today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to know that they are in great hands with colleagues who have a cross-town collaboration. Miss Walker.
Yes.
So when you got the news, the appointment, and for those who aren't familiar with how administration works, you can get as comfortable as you want in a role, but if a need presents itself or a strength happens to show up in your work and they say, you know, things are going great here, can we move you over there? That's one of the things in education proper that we have to be open to and recognize that that's just the way sometimes things happen. So fast forward to you, it's school year 24, 25, and you get the word that, hey, you're going to be over at GMS as principal. Yay, congratulations. And you say what?
Okay, I can do
Here we go.
Okay, I can do this. Let me get myself together. And
How has
I
it
can do
been?
this.
How's the team been? And what are some of the goals you all have set and achieved together?
so let me say this. The beautiful thing about being at Gary Middle, principal of Gary Middle, is that I stayed home.
Okay.
So this was already my family anyway. So the transition actually was a lot more smooth than I thought, because I
Okay.
thought they would always still see me in an assistant principal light. But they moved.
Right.
And that was half the battle, that
Okay.
it shifted.
Okay.
So that's okay. That's been really easy because I already have my team with me.
What about the students?
The students are good too. They
They're
they're just
"Miss
like, you the
Walker,
principal
you the
now?
principal."
You the
Oh, I can
principal?"
hear them now.
Okay, you know our kids. You ate that. No, you know how they.
Yes. You have to learn all of
You
their
do, you have to learn it,
colloquialisms. I'm
but,
still learning.
Yeah, so the transition was really nice, and that really helped me.
I'm glad.
'Cause
And
I
so it should be.
Yeah.
Be having a
Yeah.
supportive team, because at the end of the day, we are all here for children.
Children.
And we make those shifts and pivots when we need to, and to ensure that they have what they need.
Right.
Speaking of having what they need, and I'm coming to you in a second, Mr. Bodley, but we're out here in Miller. We're at Gary Middle School, and I am constantly, from a PR side, trying to promote and remind our community stakeholders that arts are alive and well
yes,
in
yes,
the
yes,
district,
yes.
particularly in your building.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you this opportunity to take some time to highlight some of the programs that are taking place at Gary Middle.
Okay, so right now we offer drama and choir, but our arts expand themselves.
Okay.
So even though it's drama and choir, there's still dance and other arts that'll show up, because my teachers are artists.
Yes.
And so they're not
In a box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not in a box. So we already know we had the Thriller last year.
Oh, wow. Can I just stop and speak on that for those who haven't seen this viral video
Yes.
where the young people did a rendition of Thriller,
Yep.
right? And we shared it on YouTube, and
Yes.
the next thing you know, I think it's probably 30, 40,000 views now.
yeah.
How did that come about? Who said we were going to do Thriller?
You know what? I challenged my team.
Really?
Yeah, because the kids, the year prior, they did the special effects makeup. And by the way, the whole Thriller video, the kids did.
Nice.
So the year before they did the special effects makeup, I'm walking down the hall during the class period, changing, and I see a kid with a gash. So,
And I know you freaked out.
I
Like,
freaked
what
out.
happened?
And they played it for a little bit, and then they laughed. It was like, we just did this in drama. And I'm like, oh my God. Don't play that game with me. But so that led me to think about what can we do, because I really wanted to challenge my teachers into putting things out over the internet. We live in that
Yes.
day and time. We don't always have to have a full production with the parents coming in and the audience and all that. Like, we could push stuff out as often as we want.
And that's what I love
Yes.
to do. So I'm like, what else? What
yes.
else?
So that was how that came about. And they took on the challenge.
Okay.
And they they mastered that.
Okay.
So I put it out
They
again.
ate that.
They did eat that, right?
I
So
love
I gave it to them again, because I said, now you have to do something else.
Okay.
And so I want to say she finished editing, or the editing is done.
It's coming.
Oh, really
stay
soon.
tuned. Stay tuned. That is wonderful. And I will just add before we go over to Mr. Bodley that the programs that are existing in the arts at Gary Middle feed into a nice pipeline
Yes,
to right here,
yes.
Westside Leadership Academy, Westside
Yes.
Theater Guild. So Mr. Spencer and team are getting
Yes.
a nice crop of young, talented artists.
Absolutely.
Mr. Bodley, you left that artsy space to pull out the stethoscopes and beakers and Bunsen burners and element charts. I'm just trying to sound intelligent here, but really to make an emphasis because for those who don't know, Bailey is certified by the state of Indiana as a STEM academy. What does that mean? And talk about the offerings that Bailey has for scholars who attend there.
Right, so what that means is we are preparing students for 21st century skills in a way that's more of an interdisciplinary situation. You know, there used to be kind of a standalone, we would talk about the acronym and it was kind of a buzzword. But what we're finding is that STEM is embedded in almost all of those programs, you know what I mean? So kids come in ready to be engaged. They want to do some hands-on things, some project-based things. They want to have products after they go through an academic experience. So the engagement is a big piece. So we have things like engineering classes. We have computer science. We have those things like digital citizenship that they can get into. That these are all the things that employers are looking for now. So I mean, when you look at the kind of the traditional fine arts experience, this is more cutting edge innovation, application, and critical thinking that, like I said, is embedded in all of those things because employers are looking for problem solvers, people who are creative. They want to know what you can do as opposed to what you think more so now. So those are the things that we're offering at Bailey STEM Academy. And like I said, it's interdisciplinary. So, you know, you got to have those core subjects, your math, your ELA, and things like that. But we can also learn by doing, and it's all pretty much engaging. So kids are proud of the work. So I would ask parents and folks in our community to come out and see some of the things we're doing.
You must have been reading my mind, Mr. Bodley, because I was going to say I owe you all a more current visit. But I've been over there and have come to some of the fairs and the robotics, and they're rushing up to show me things. And I'm like, just trying to wrap my head around it, like, wow, this is very high level. And I am sure that you will be impressed when you come and visit Bailey STEM Academy and GMS. I can't believe we're at the end of segment 2. So I'm going to tell you right now, stay tuned. We have more coming, so don't you move. We'll be right back.
When you join the Army, the first thing they teach you is how to get in line. Not exactly the same in high school. When I enrolled in Westside Leadership Academy and joined ROTC, the first thing I learned was respect. Not just for God and country, but for myself.
Gary Schools, strong, resilient, built for education.
I said I'd never join.
Thought living on sub would be too hard.
I figured only the weatherman tracks storms.
I said my job wouldn't matter.
Never knew how strong I was. I never thought this would be my commute.
I figured I'd never get out of my hometown.
Or be the one who stops an attack.
Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
And we are back, A Day in the District, and this is our final segment, and we are all things middle schools today, from Miller all the way to Glen Park. I'm chatting with principals Shanita Walker and Derek Bodley about the amazing offerings they have at Gary Middle School and Bailey STEM Academy. I'm just always intrigued. And when we left off, we were just talking about the fairs and the projects that the young people are in, and even the competitions. We want to see more of that. And so I'm coming back to you, Mr. Bodley, to talk more about criteria. If I'm a parent and I'm hearing about all of these opportunities, the next question for me would be, what is the criteria? Are there math and science scores or courses that I should have done in elementary? What's the deal if I say I'm coming to Bailey STEM?
So the only prerequisite is that you were a fifth grader before.
Oh,
right?
Easy.
So when you come into Bailey STEM Academy, we teach 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
Okay.
Or if you're coming from a different school and you're 6th, 7th,
definitely
or 8th
want
grader.
that, right?
So those are the only prerequisites, because today's education is a little bit more customizable. We meet our students where they are. When you come to Bailey STEM Academy, we involve ourselves in kind of a tailored fit for each student, because we learn differently.
Yes.
Education looks differently now. So we're talking about the social emotional component of education now. We want to make sure our kids are mentally ready for what they're going to engage in. So the only prerequisite is that you are a student previously in the 5th grade class, moving on to 6th grade, or currently 6th, 7th, or 8th. And we customize an education that fits that particular student.
See parents, see how I did that? I asked that question for you. So now are you ready to talk to these principals about the amazing curricula that exists in these two buildings? You hit on a buzzword that is so real about social and emotional learning. Wasn't a term when we were at Westside, Horace Mann, Word, but it's a whole thing now.
Yes.
And we have to cater to the whole child.
Absolutely.
And I was talking before we started the show when I said, ooh, you all have the tweenies. You all have I'm 12, I'm grown. Yeah. I have a cell phone and an attitude. Or I was grown yesterday, but help, today I'm back a baby and I need you to coddle me. So I want to hear from each of you. What are our strategies and how do we tackle that special part of the population? Because we know how critical it is to usher them into adulthood, and that's where it starts, adolescence. Ms. Walker?
So you know what? We have to look at the child as an individual.
Okay.
Because what I do for Mr. Bodley is not necessarily the thing that will work for you.
Okay.
So I have to take the time to get to know them. We have different programs that we use. Class Catalyst is one of them, where they can actually type out and just kind of journal, so to speak, how they're feeling that day, and different things like that. You can kind of look at them to see if there's anything that catches your attention. That way you can kind of pull them to the side.
Okay.
But
I'm smiling because I'm thinking back to elementary school when your teacher's like, there's nothing wrong with you. Go back there and sit down.
No.
You need an apple. You need to eat something.
Right. That doesn't
fly
exist
today.
anymore. You pay attention. One of the things at Gary Middle is we're a family. That's how I address them. The staff, the students, they know we're family. And we take on that family role. So I know you as family. I can look at your face and say, she's not having a good day. Come here, let me talk to you.
Okay.
Walk with me. Those type things, so we can get to know our kids, what's going on, what happened over the weekend, and then you feed into that. You give them what they need so that they can have a good day, because a lot of times what I realize is sometimes they just need to be heard, seen, heard, and valued.
I love it. You're nodding, Mr. Bodley, add on.
Yeah, I would say that I think Ms. Walker would agree with me. There's this natural progression where parents kind of start to let go in middle school because they think it's necessary to do so. I would encourage them to be more involved, because that partnership with parents is just essential.
It's critical.
With middle school, students are starting to get more independence, but a lot more responsibility. And I think that's where you need parents most. So that partnership with parents, I can't speak enough about. And we want to grow our partnerships with parents and have them come in and partner with us and encourage students, because just as Ms. Walker pointed out, there's always a champion in the building for every student. We just got to figure out who that might be. It may be multiple people, but I would encourage parents to hold on a little bit longer and support kids in ways that I think they think they're doing the right thing, but I'll guarantee you that partnership with parents and the connection with the school is just essential.
I really like that. We're getting into the last part of our segment, so I want to hear specifically as we get ready to close out the year. Can you believe we're coming up on the holidays? What's going on over at GMS that our parents can roll up on the kids and say, I am involved, I'm attending, or I want to help?
Okay, so we're right now getting ready to start. We wanted to do like a community thing. So we want to have the kids to make up Thanksgiving baskets. Maybe we can bless a few families, but we want them to actually be active in that. Like you're bringing in things, you're packing bags, so they can have that experience. As far as our December program, I don't know if I'm supposed to let this out, but we're working on it.
But you all have been posting on social media. Go to Gary Middle where they're rehearsing. I crack up and I just keep watching it. I keep watching it because you can tell they're excited about the production.
Yeah, they got something that they're really working on for this December program.
Okay, well then I'm going to put you on the spot in front of everybody who's watching. I'd like to extend an invitation to you for our December school board meeting to bring our scholars out to do a performance in the community. I think that would just be a great cap to the year, and parents and everybody can come out and see them on camera right over at the Gary Area Career Center, in addition to your production. But I love to just put people on camera, and that way I have a record of you saying yes, or at least to ask yes. All right,
we will do that.
Now, Mr. Bodley, what do we have to look forward over at Bailey as we close out the year?
Right, so of course we are putting together some STEM nights. We want to fully display what our kids are doing on a regular basis.
Okay.
So here are opportunities for parents to actually come into the building and do some things in our maker spaces.
Okay.
I think if they come into the building and see those spaces and some of the resources that we have, like I think you mentioned earlier, they'd be extremely impressed with what's going on over there. I mean, the technology rivals any college campus, I believe. And like I said, if they walk into the building and just kind of see what we're doing, hands-on, touch, complete, apply, they'll be impressed with what they'll see.
Well, I tell you what, I have been thoroughly impressed with what I've heard today from our principals representing our middle schools. Gary Middle School for Visual and Performing Arts, Bailey STEM Academy. You all are thriving on either side of town, cross city collaborations, and I want to thank you for taking time out away from the scholars to come and chat with us. And I'm encouraging you to follow both of these schools on social media, and better still, make your way over to see what's happening. I'm Chelsea Whittington. I've been your host today for A Day in the District. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
WSTG